repeat?
According to Jasmine Tucker, the United States military has an estimated 21.3 million living veterans as of November 2016. According to the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, only 4% of the nation's total budget is spent on veterans. As the grandson of a brave man who fought as a CB in the Korean War, I know firsthand of the price that the veterans and their families paid because of their service. Every day, soldiers are spending time away from their loved ones on our behalf to protect many freedoms that unfortunately are taken for granted by many Americans. Should we also not be called to service to protect these individuals who have sacrificed so much for us? Today I will be speaking to you about the Wounded Warrior Project and how they tirelessly dedicate themselves to helping our veterans, some who cannot help themselves. First, I will tell you why there is such a need for the Wounded Warrior Project. So the United States Department of Public Affairs budgeted right around $8 million for vets, which averages out to be around $384 per vet. This is not a substantial amount when you take into account that David Francis states that on average, each vet has around $2 million in medical expenses. This is obviously nowhere near enough to cover the cost that vets accrue in medical expenses. The Wounded Warrior Project is an organization that provides services, programs at no cost to address the needs and care for the injured veterans. It is my personal belief and the belief of others that these warriors need our help because the government is not supporting them enough. Powerhouse Productions research team shows that 78% of all veterans have a service-connected disability which causes them to struggle in everyday life. Also, the average age of an enlisted soldier who has retired from service is 33 years of age, which shows us how long these vets will have to live with their disabilities. Of all the vets with a VA connected disability rating, 73% believe that their disability is keeping them from obtaining and maintaining a job. Unfortunately, due to this, every 65 minutes a veteran takes their own life because they are unable to handle post-service life on their own. Who is taking care of these men and women who have served us and our country? Because it is clear that the government is not doing enough to help. As you can see, there is a huge need to support our veterans, but there are ways that you can help. This community has the ability to raise money for the Wounded Warrior Project through many different facets. Through benefits, fundraising, and school programs, or even asking customers in stores to donate to the program. You have the ability to donate on your own by mailing donation forms, giving monthly donations, or donating in honor of someone, maybe even a loved one. Without the help of the Wounded Warrior Project, so many of those who have sacrificed so much for us in our country will battle with physical and mental hardships. This is why giving to the organization is so crucial. Finally, by participating in the ways mentioned earlier, your impact would be substantial. By giving money to the Wounded Warrior Project, you have the ability to help a veteran get their lives back to a pre-service condition, both mentally and physically. Some may not be able to get there, but any help is greatly appreciated. The funds are used to support different interactive programs and rehabilitations that give a soldier a chance of living a life without barriers or restrictions. The Wounded Warrior Project also provides treatments at no expense to the vet, but they also offer employment services that encourage economic empowerment for those warriors to provide long-term financial stability for themselves and their families. This, in return, is allowing the warriors to give back to the community after receiving the help that they need. Without the help from the Wounded Warrior Project, so many of those who have sacrificed so much for us and our country will battle with physical and mental hardships. In closing, I hope that you are better informed and more aware of the threats that our veterans face today. Unfortunately, for some of our veterans, the biggest battle they will fight will not be on the battlefield with bullets whizzing by their heads, but here, back home, attempting to put their lives back together. One of the biggest problems is that the government spends too much money making war and not enough money taking care of those who served in them. However, we can be their saving grace. We can help them put their lives back together. We can be the difference that they've been desperately looking for. I implore you to help these veterans. For more information on how you can help, please visit www.woundedwarriorproject.org, and thank you for your time.